a fight with such a crappy without people knowing who he is? You know, how is it that people could actually say that his resume was so weak or so soft that they honestly in their heart of hearts thought that Errol Spence was just going to roll right over him, right? And you say, how is it Terence Crawford has been at 147 pounds for 5, almost 6 years? He came in and won a championship belt at his first fight at 147. The one belt that Errol Spence didn't have. He didn't have them at the time, or maybe he did. He didn't have them at the time. The one belt that he didn't have, and it took 5 years for them to make the fight. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, when you look at, you're like, that doesn't make any sense, right? And what happens is, I think a lot of people don't really understand the belts and the promotions and the sides and like how the marketing goes, which is why I wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit. Ricky Burns. You see how crazy these people that are saying that Bud Crawford is not a good fighter and hasn't had good competition. Do you see like how nonsensical it is?
Majority of his matchups are undefeated fighters.
Yeah.
First loss.
The last 20 bouts were championship bouts, including the one that just happened. The last 20 fights, there was a belt or championship up for grabs at 3 different weight classes. Like, what are we talking about?
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Yeah. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Yeah. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. I ain't never really wanna flex my gifts, but I think it's my time. Let me check my wrist. You can never dim my shine. I'ma keep on grinding till I reach the tip top.
Salute. Welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020. Here are my brothers, Gerald, aka Arrowhead, and YouTube Prophet, Broken Blade. What's up, brothers? How you doing?
Salute, gentlemen.
Salute. Doing pretty well.
What's up? Look, man, the boxing business is alive and well, allegedly. Shout out to Ken Justin Creations. What's up, bro? What do you, when someone says boxing, Broken Blade, when someone says boxing, you know what I mean? Like, what is the first things that kind of come to mind?
Usually black athletes. I'm thinking specific black athletes come to mind. Muhammad Ali, Tyson, Evander Holyfield. Yeah, I think it was pretty, like, straight up top of my head, like the best, like the greatest athletes of the sport.
Got you. Gerald, what about you, bro? What do you know? I'm kind of curious because I think everybody has a slightly different relationship with boxing. I think, depending on what time you came up, kind of might determine like how you feel about it. I think there were some lulls in boxing a little bit where, they say when the heavyweight, when heavyweights aren't really banging, then boxing kind of suffers a little bit. So I think sometimes there's a lull. What are your thoughts just off the top? Like what?
It's crazy. Yeah, mine might be a little bit weird compared to everybody else's, but it was activism. I thought of boxing because Muhammad Ali first comes to mind, and before I knew he was a boxer, I just know him. I knew him as an activist when I was little. And I realized he was a boxer when I kind of grew up a little bit, and then the next thing you know, I started studying this boxing. I'm like, yo, he was a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So when you say more than an athlete, I think of a guy like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. It's it's an interesting dynamic because you said something the other day about sports that exploit, exploitative sports. Boxing unfortunately is kind of one of them. The idea that the Mandingo fighting, all it is a variation of that. That's all it is. There's really no difference. It's just it just evolved into something that's a little bit more current, right? So I kind of have and it's funny too because when people talk about it, it's the sweet science, and it's like this science of like pugilism and combat, but then when you throw the business on the top of it, that's when it gets messy. It's like when you watch the fight from the other night, the Terence Crawford fight, and you see like the brilliance, the instincts, the gameplay, the chess, moving the pieces, the subtleties, it's art. And then you layer the business on top of it, and it just doo-doos all over the carpet. It just doo-doos all over the carpet. What's up, Braxton? How you doing, brother? What's up? So there's been a lot of copium on the internet. I don't know if you guys follow any of these boxing channels. The boxing channels have there's been a very big there's been a lot of controversy on YouTube around this fight. There's controversy around every fight, but this one has been interesting because it's black on black violence. And I started thinking about how it got this way. How did Terence Crawford get to be 39-0, 35 years old, knocking out 9 of his last fights, every single person at 147? Undisputed at 140. How is it that a guy like that can come into a fight with such a crappy, without people knowing who he is? How is it that people could actually say that his resume was so weak or so soft that they honestly in their heart of hearts thought that Errol Spence was just going to roll right over him, right? And you say, how is it Terence Crawford has been at 147 pounds for 5, almost 6 years? He came in and won a championship belt at his first fight at 147. The one belt that Errol Spence didn't have. He didn't have them at the time, or maybe he did. He didn't have them at the time. The one belt that he didn't have, and it took 5 years for them to make the fight. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, when you look at, you're like, that doesn't make any sense, right? And what happens is, I think a lot of people don't really understand the belts and the promotions and the sides and like how the marketing goes, which is why I wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit. Gerald, do you have a, and again, look, this is the reason, and the reason why I want to have this conversation is because I think I want to come at this from a layman's, I don't watch boxing all the time position. Okay. So today is the time to ask dumb questions. Today is the time to not know anything. And we're going to kind of muscle through this just a little bit so that we can understand a little bit better how a guy that has the record and the accomplishments that Terence Crawford had could be openly disparaged by so many people when all the signs are right there in front of them. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to touch on that. Gerald, so do you have a pretty firm understanding of the different promoters and how all that stuff kind of works?
Not entirely, no. I just know that they promote and that they schedule fights and they help the fighters just kind of establish certain aspects of what they're about to do. But other than that, not really.
Got you. Okay. What about you, Broken? Do you kind of do you have a kind of a firm understanding, or the belt system? Do you kind of understand all the belts and all that good stuff? And again,
Dude,
please, no judgment. No, we are starting from scratch. We are going to have this conversation as if all of us are boxing, I can't say retards, boxing novices, right? So I want to make sure that we all cover this in a way that is, I want to make sure that because honestly, I think that there are even some boxing fans they don't even understand how it all works, right? So let's start with the belts. Okay. So we've got the WBO, WBC, WBA, and IBF. We're in the 4-belt era. All of those belts: World Boxing Association, World Boxing Championship, World Boxing, I forget what the other one, and then the International Boxing something, IBF, International Boxing Federation. Okay, those are all the belts. Mm-hmm.
Why are there 4 different divisions? I can understand an international one.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a national, then something worldwide like the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But why 4 different organizations for the same sport that are considered national?
Great question. Money. Create an organization, create a belt, and then people have to pay to people have to, when they win the belt, to hold the belt organization gets a piece of the purse.
That's one of the reasons why I fell off of boxing.
Yeah.
And when they started doing that BS, I was just like, you know what? I'll watch the matches, but I really don't care much other than that. Because they started breaking up titles. I'm like, what's the point now?
Yeah, it's still not, because I could see everybody in the positions that greedy, but you don't see the type of division like the NBA or NFL.
Another great observation. So part of the reason why they do that is because if there were one governing body, all of these other people couldn't have their hands in the cookie jar. They could change the rules, they can whatever, right? Okay, so we're only touching just the belts, just the championship belts, right? So WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. Okay, the 4 of them. Don't make me do that. I could get the letters wrong and mixed up sometimes. But basically there's 4 of them, 4 belts, right? And then at every weight class. So there's 118, 122, 120. Don't ask me to do the names because I can't do them at the same time. 22, 127, 130, 135, 140, 147, 154, 160, 168, 175, 185, and then I think from there you're into, it might be 185, and then I think 205 is the beginning of heavyweight, and then anything over 205 is, and I could be 205, 210, 208. It's we're just over 200 pounds for heavyweight, right? So every single one of those weight classes, and then one belt in between for the main belts. Now, in addition to those, they will also do regional belts sometimes. So they'll do like an American or a Mexican, or they'll do a Southern region or whatever. So they'll intercontinental, like some of them they'll throw those in there. Now, reason being is exactly the way we said it at the beginning. There's money in it, right? People will pay more to watch a championship fight. They'll pay to watch a fight, right? Within all of those belts, they have their own rankings within each division. So the WBC and the WBO or WBA or IBF, they might have Terence Crawford 1, Errol Spence 2, Jerron Ennis 3, so and so, right? And they all might be slightly switched up based on who they like, or who maybe is more marketable, or maybe who whatever, right? Now,
this almost sounds like a damn credit score. Experience,
a little bit. It kind of can be a little bit, except for instead of trading credit, they're trading it's like cash. It's cockfighting, right? Because people are doing calculations in their head, right? Because I'm trying to, what I really want to do is I want to try to set the table for everyone to understand why Terence Crawford got all the way to where we are right now, and how nobody knew who the hell he was. Whereas like someone like me, he's one of my favorite boxers, I'm looking at a boxing genius. I oftentimes will work out and rewatch old fights. And every single time I do, I see things that I missed the first time. And he gets all the way to here, and everybody is so surprised that he went in there and beat the dog doo-doo out of Errol Spence.
I see why a lot of people are pissed off about boxing analysts, because a lot of them really don't know how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
right?
like these last 5 minutes you've explained it to me. I'm like, yeah, I see why, because it's.
Yeah. Okay. So, if, for example, the WBC, and I'm if I'm not mistaken, based in Mexico, this guy named Suleiman, he's the head of the WBC, right? Say he's got a relationship with Top Rank, and we're going to talk about the promoters next. If he's got a relationship with Top Rank, and Top Rank has the top four of the top fighters in their stable, it's more conducive for him to put some of their fighters higher to the top so that they can make the fight and it can kind of stay in-house. The promoters don't want the belts to go to another promoter because the belts are what drives the money, or at least like the bigger fights. People want to watch championship fights. If they're just fighting to fight, sometimes people don't want to watch. It's like if it's not for anything, right? So what happens is on the WBC, the ranking might look like bot, where a couple of top rank fighters are closer to 2, 3, and 4, so that the top guy has to fight them. But the WBC or WBA on the other side, they have relationships with PBC. PBC has, say they have 4 of the top 10 over there too. So they try to get their top 4 closer to the top of their rankings so that the top person of the WBA or whatever has to fight fighters from PBC so that the title can stay in-house. And if they're on the same stable, it's easier for them to be able to make the fight. And the money stays in-house. Whenever you have the top guy at a that's got one belt and a top guy that has another belt, even though they might be in the same weight class, they may never fight each other because they're represented by different promoters, which is why Terence Crawford had a WBA or WBO title for 5 years at 147, and Errol Spence gathered up all the other 3 belts, and they avoided fighting each other because Top Rank is where Terence Crawford was represented, and PBC is where all the other fighters and the other belts were located. And none of them wanted to fight Terence Crawford because they didn't want to lose all those belts from PBC over to Top Rank. So what they did was, when they negotiated, they made the negotiations so lopsided that they couldn't come to terms. But what they did in the media was they said, oh, Bud wants too much money. Oh, his resume's not good enough. He's only fought guys over there. So Top Rank guys have been the guys that Terence Crawford has beaten up. But the PBC guys have said, oh, none of those guys are worth anything. They're not very good. So we don't have to fight him. So that's just the belts. That's just the belts. Now, in addition to that, damn, this fool got, what's up? Damn, you got a name like Cop Killer? That's crazy. Why do you do that? Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't like cops either, but Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, then. Just so you know, them peoples is watching, okay? Don't be saying nothing crazy in my chat. Them peoples is watching, all right? Just be careful. Thank you for coming through and hanging out. I appreciate you. Just keep it clean. Jesus Christ. So anyways, all right. So we've got the 4 belts, every single weight class, right? You've got rankings in every single weight class. People move up and down the weight classes is best, but they kind of try to stay in their own weight classes, right? So that they're dealing with people that are their size, right? Cool. To add another layer, PBC, generally pay-per-view and showtime. Top Rank used to be HBO and pay-per-view. Showtime, and now PBC, Showtime, pay-per-view. Now Fox is in there. Fox is in there with Top Rank because HBO is now gone. They don't do it anymore. So now Fox, ESPN, Disney, that's who runs the runs what used to be a lot of the people from HBO. And then, oh, Cobb Killer. Cobb Killer. I love that you came in here already firing. He did the heavy lifting. Errol fought guys that don't move. Errol collected the belts from guys that don't move. That's why he collected those belts.
I watched his last title fight, man. It wasn't all that.
They stood right in front of each other, right?
Yeah.
And just banged on each other. They just stood right in front. And the stuff that we talked about, what Errol does all the time, was he not doing the same things? Reaching, punching with his hands down, right? Just slugging, diving in. Anyways, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about that.
So it was a tough man contest, basically.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he stood right in front of them and they just banged. Like they really, there was very little, like, there was some defense, but it was like parrying in front of your face defense. It wasn't like actually moving laterally or forward to backward. There's a breakdown that the guy from Morning Combat did. Essentially, look, you guys can tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. I want you to watch the Morning Combat link. I'm going to play it. Maybe we'll review it at the end of this. And everything that I said, he said. Everything that I said, he said. So you can be like, Alvin, you don't know shit about boxing. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You guys were with me. You were with me right after the fight, and you recall what I said. The internet took it down already, but I'm gonna re-up it tonight probably. But we're gonna watch what he said, and it's gonna be exactly what I said. In fact, there's a couple of other things that he left out that I want to add a little color to, just because he didn't have a lot of time. But he did a great breakdown of like what actually happened, and so we'll cover that. Okay, so now we've got the 4 belts at each weight class. We've got and then there's DAZN. The DAZN is an app that also kind of grew out of there was a promoter in England. Forgive me, I forget. I'll come back to it. We'll get to it in a second. But there's a promoter out of England that also PBC, Top Rank, and then this one in England. The guy got old. His son took it over and started an app called DAZN. So there's an application also, and they promote their own fights. They have their own channel. They have their own application, which is good because they can control all of their media, but it's bad because not everybody wants to buy their application. So there's this business moving around, and these fighters have to try to navigate these fights, right? Real quick. Before I I'm so glad you're in here, Cop Killer. Don't go anywhere because I'm going to make this is a teachable moment. So stick around, please. Shout out to the Quiet Storm. Thank you so much for the $10 support. Black Male Media. Salute, brother. Civil Suit TV, Arrowhead, and Broken Blade. Yes, sir. The Quiet Storm is my man. Salute to you, bro. I really, truly appreciate you, Gerald. Can we give the Quiet Storm a salute, please? Cop Killer, if Bud only fought C-level fighters, what was Errol? I'll let you think on that for a second. I'll let you chew on that for a second. So we've got the 4 belts, right? We've got PBC, Top Rank, DAZN. Those are the major promoters. So essentially you have to be working with these major ones to get the big fights because they control all the belts. All the belts are being held by these 3 promoters. Got me? Even the fighters like Devin Haney, who now has his own promotion company, has to work with, when he does a big fight, he has to work with PBC or he has to work with Top Rank. He has to work with them. So like Devin Haney has his own promotional company. Floyd Mayweather has his own promotional company, but he works with PBC. So like those are the main ones. You can't do anything without those guys, right? In addition to that, you layer on top Showtime pay-per-view, Fox, Disney, DAZN. So they have television relationships. So you get to decide who gets promoted on TV, who gets seen, who gets talked about.
This is a definition of a clusterfuck.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. In addition to that, every single state has sanctioning bodies, meaning that every single state has a set of regulations and rules that are going to be attributed to to boxing. Why does everyone fight in Vegas? Because Vegas has and regulations, and they check, and you have to fit in those rules and regulations. What does that mean? That means that they have a certain set of judges that are connected to the sanctioning bodies. They have referees that are connected to the sanctioning bodies. So when you're negotiating as a fighter, you've got your promoter who's negotiating with, also within an earshot of the people that have the belts, within an earshot with the people that are controlling whether it's going to be on pay-per-view, whether it's going to be free on Friday Night Fights on ESPN, whether it's going to be just on DAZN on the application, all of that. So the fighters are the ones in the but everybody's that got their hands in the cookie jar are all these other people.
And the fighters get the breadcrumbs, all that filtering.
By the end of it, that's what they get, right?
You can't win.
Yeah.
Can you make this ish up, man? You really can't
make it up. Can't make it up. Okay, so it's possible for a guy to be really, really good with one promoter, and if the other belts are with another promoter and the promoters don't like each other, you could go all through your career and never get an opportunity to fight for any of those belts. And the only way that you can almost force a fight, what happened here, is that Crawford won a belt at 147 5 years ago. He's been trying to get all these other belts and fight these other guys for 5 years. Errol Spence, being from PBC, Terence Crawford, who was tied up at the top rank, they don't like each other and they were not going to make the deal. Partially because PBC knew that Terence Crawford would whoop the shit out of everybody in their stable, take the belts, and they might not ever see the belts at 147 again. 147 is a welterweight it's a just like heavyweight, it's a kind of like a designer weight class. It's a high action, it's almost like a vanity weight class. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of in that pocket where the guys are big enough to really be banging on each other, but not so big that they knock each other out all the time. So you get longer fights. That's another part that you don't really they don't really talk about. So it's a vanity. It's interesting that like people talk about everyone in this 147. Like you hear a lot of the fighters in the 147 weight class are popular, but just right up at 154, people can't even tell me like 3 or 4 fighters that fight at that weight class, or 160 can't even tell me who fights at that weight class, or 168 can barely tell me anybody who fights at that weight class. 147 is a vanity weight class. So PBC didn't want to lose those belts to someone at top rank, because there's a chance that Terence Crawford at the time was 30 years old. He's 35 right now. He just won all the belts. So if he won all the belts at 30, there's a chance that they might not get those belts again for 5 or 6 years, because Terence Crawford is that good.
Which is why the fight was so important to him.
Yes, which is why they tried their hardest to keep him from fighting all of those people. If Bud, I love this. If Bud got all his power like Bud's fin, then why do you stack his raps? He wrapped his hands just like everybody else did, sir. If you were to take his gloves off and look at what Errol's hands look like, they look the same. Let's just be real. These Errol fans are coming out here.
They were in the backstage before the fight. You saw him wrapping his hands.
He wraps his own hands. He doesn't even have his coach wrap his hands. He wraps his own hands. That's truly old school. That's beyond old school. He wraps his own hands. I mean, look, hey, I'm sorry, Cop Killer. Errol got beat up. bro. You can't. There's nothing you can say. He got the doggy doo doo. He couldn't make adjustments. We're gonna talk about it at the end of this, Cop Killer. So, like I said, stick around. We're gonna cover a video, and I'm gonna show you exactly why Arrow got the doggy doo doo beat out of him.
Alvin, did you get that? Did you get that video I tweeted to you?
Did you send? How did you send it to me?
Hold on. It was just a funny comedy thing I was looking up. Just continue. I'll get it.
Okay. Yeah. And real quick, my brother from another mother, Wrench Turner. What's up? Support Black Male Media. Thank you so much for the $10. Now, Wrench Turner was an Arrow fan. He's from Texas, and the only bet that I made was with Wrench, and it's just because he's a brother from another mother, and I'm gonna end up giving his money back to him anyways. But salute to Wrench Turner. Salute to you, bro. Thank you so much for the $10. And you do have the link, so if you get free, feel free to come up, bro. Wrench Turner is my brother from another mother. Gerald, can we get Wrench Turner a salute, please? And Cobb Killer, once again, you get no love over here, bro. Terence Crawford is just way better than Errol Spence. Errol Spence, you can't look. Every job, look, a hammer is a great tool. Okay, great tool. You can do a lot of things with a hammer. You can pry nails out of a board. You can knock things in. You could use it as leverage for some other stuff. Like, you could do a lot of things with a hammer, right? But if I need to weld something, a hammer ain't gonna do me no good. If all you got is hammers in your toolbox, you might have a ball peen hammer, you might have a rubber hammer, you might have a carpenter's hammer, but some jobs require things that aren't hammers. And unfortunately, Spence got exposed. He fought a bunch of guys, a bunch of jobs that were different kind of nails. There's like a roofing nail and a carpentry nail and a cabinet nail and whatever. And Spence went on ahead and got all those. But when he went to this job that required a blowtorch and a couple screwdrivers and some braces and some more complicated things, Spence was like, what? Like a fish out of water. He choked. And the messed up part about it is you can talk all the smack you want. Because hold on. Where's my Twitter at? I'm gonna look up Twitter and go ahead and get you with the damn bud. Did y'all see his face? Cobb Killer, do me a favor. Jump onto Twitter and search for damn bud. Damn bud. Okay? Just search damn
immediately
bud.
After he lost.
Immediately search damn bud, and I want you to just scroll a little bit and then come back and talk to us. Okay, just come back and talk to us. So thank you so much, bro. Anyways, so and here's the thing. And see, Cop Killer, we're respectful over here. I know you're new here. This is a male centric channel, but we just happen to be talking sports just because, we're men and we like sports. We normally talk about, political and social issues and just overall black men stuff. But one thing that we don't do is ad hominem attacks particularly. And I would love to keep you around or whatever. But when you start to get into kind of disrespect is when we go on ahead and get you up out of here. And I don't want to get you up out of here. I'd love for you to see this ass whooping breakdown that they did, and if you can wait like another 15 or 20 minutes, we can show you exactly why Arrow got his ass whooped. But if you want to get yourself booted up on out of here, keep talking smack. But you're free to listen, though. You're free to listen. If you back up off the keyboard a little bit and just listen, you might learn something. Anyways, so like I was saying, so you've got the sanctioning bodies, you've got the TV people, you've got all of the different people trying to make this thing, right? So Bud Crawford was with Top Rank. Now check this out. Let me Google this real quick. Because Terence Crawford filed a lawsuit against Top Rank. A lot like Deontay Wilder did. And I want you guys to, there's something that I want you guys to really get into here. I want you guys, I'm gonna tie all this together going to tie all of this together for you so it makes some sense. Hold on. Let me just get this big for you. All right, cool. All right, bye. Just like this. All right. Once again. Oh God, Cop Killer, you must like Canelo. You must be a Canelo fan. You must be a Canelo fan. You sound like a Canelo fan. You like a Canelo fan and Arrow fan. Anyways, Nevada district judge rules in favor of Crawford to return Top Rank lawsuit to state court. So essentially what happened is Terence Crawford pulled ahead on the scorecards in his scorecards in his ongoing battle with legal Top Rank. Now, this is important because we're going to go into the history of Top Rank, but I wanted to get to this part first. The unbeaten 3-division champion in the pound-for-pound entrance scored a minor victory when Nevada District Court judge granted Crawford's motion to remand his lawsuit against Top Rank State Court. The ruling was handed down on Tuesday, yada, yada, yada. As previously reported, boxing scene, Crawford filed a 6-count multi-million Rank registered in Nevada because they have favorable laws when it comes to business and taxes. So they file the lawsuit where they're from. The case alleged that 2 separate counts of breach of contract, along with 1 count of fraudulent misinterpretation, specifying Top Rank's failure to deliver a fight with Errol Spence and in the manner in which it was promised. Neglect, misrepresentation, breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealings, torturous breach of implied covenant of good faith as committed by Top Rank founder boss and CEO Bob Arum, as well as company president Todd DeBuff, Arum's stepson. There's that nepotism again. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. All of this stuff is important. Cop Killer, I love you, bro, but you really kind of stinking up my chat. You're on thin ice, sir. We don't know you, and we'll happily get you up out of here. I would love for you to hang out, though, so you can learn something. But anybody that's an Arrow fan can't talk. Like, you can't talk for at least 6 months. You know what? Hear about this. If you're an Arrow fan, you can talk when his face heals up. When his face heals up, then we'll listen to you, okay? Until his face heals up and he stops talking with that lisp and that slur, then we'll listen to you. How about that? You okay, Cop Killer? We'll let you do that. All right. Anyways, so now listen to this. The case alleges 2 separate counts of breach of contract along with 1 count of fraudulent misrepresentation, specifying Top Rank's failure to deliver a fight with who? Errol Spence, and in the manner which it was promised. Neglect, misrepresentation, breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealings, and torturous breach of the implied covenant of good faith as committed by Top Rank founder, CEO Bob Arum, as well as company president Todd DeBuff, Arum's stepson. Crawford's 38-0 at the time. 29 knockouts, a promotional free agent who currently holds the WBO welterweight title, seeks upwards of $10 million in compensation, including specific amounts of $4.5 million under the first breach of contract claim. He also sought an alleged unpaid $900,000 bonus as specified in the second breach of contract claim in reference to Top Rank's alleged failure to deliver a unification bout with Errol Spence. Why is this relevant? Because the only reason why he signed up with Top Rank was to get this fight. He wanted all the belts. He wanted all the belts and he wanted to fight Errol Spence. And they signed him under guise of them being able to do this. This is crazy. Check this out. Arum claimed to have learned learned of the case when it was leaked to the New York Post, who contacted Hall of Fame promoter seeking comment. The Post angle was more in reference to the repeated claims that 23-page complaint of racial bias levied against Crawford by Top Rank. His attorneys, Brian Friedman and Hector Carbajal, extensive allegations of racial bias against Crawford, an African-American boxer in desperate treatment of black boxers, including those very same black boxers that Top Rank is contractually obligated to promote. Because this is boxing, a sport with a checkered history, and because Arum is now dismissed as just a grumpy old white man, Arum continues to make racist and bigoted statements and purposefully damage the reputation of black boxers without any consequences. This generally, because of the affected boxers who are have long-term contracts with Top Rank, fear that if they speak up, they will be placed on the sideline and not given an opportunity to fight during the life of their deal, which could be 5 to 7 years. How old is Terence Crawford? 35, about to be 36. When did he win his 100? When did he win this championship? When he was 30. Almost 6 years ago. While the claims of racial bias were specifically throughout the introduction and allegations common to all causes of action, none were actually listened in or officially associated with any of the 6 counts filed against Top Rank. So essentially, he won and he got out of his contract. I'm not sure whether they reported the disclosed amount of whether that they settled for less or whatever, but he did win the case. Okay. And he got released from his contract. And then he went over to PBC, signed a 3-fight contract with them. They made the Errol Spence fight. That's how the fight got made. Now, a lot of, Errol Spence fans and PBC people, PBC was always pushing the narrative that Terence Crawford was ducking Errol, or he was wanting things that were so outrageous that they wouldn't agree to it. He was being like, I want $50 million to fight Errol Spence or whatever. All he wanted is equal money, equal pay. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted. But what was happening is Bob Arum, he doesn't like Al Heyman. Al Heyman is the founder of PBC, black man. Now it's all starting to make sense. Old Jewish man, black man. One side of the fence, other side of the fence. Which is why deals don't get done. Got me? So everyone from PBC, again, a lot of the black fighters who have a lot of the black media, black people paying attention, ran with the narrative that Terence Crawford was some sort of a coon, and that he wanted something, and all of the people on the Top Rank side of the fence were weaker competition. So the narrative that everyone on that side was weaker competition is the narrative that got pushed to the masses. So what happened was you get a lot of these guys drinking their own Kool-Aid, running with the narrative that Terence Crawford's competition was lesser competition, when in fact, not the case. It was just that he was fighting like Croatian, Russian guys. He went over to Europe and fought a Scottish guy. He fought more international talent because the black fighters on the PBC side of the fence wouldn't fight him. He couldn't get the fights.
So pretty much they use reverse psychology on his ass. Pretty much what they usually do to black people. On a political, yes. On every single spectrum, on the political spectrum, on the socio-economic spectrum, and even on the sports venue section. It's just like,
yes.
Yo,
well,
I'm getting tired. I'm getting so sick of this okey-doke, man. I'm getting sick of it.
Well, can we go a little deeper on this okey doke? Just a little bit deeper.
Go ahead.
Can I peel back one more layer for you?
Oh
Can I,
man,
peel back one
where's
more
it?
layer?
Where's the machete? Where it at,
Get
man?
the machete.
Where is it at? Where is it at, man? I'm ready to drop. I'm ready to drop the bomb on him.
Thank you. Shout out to Sick with it, yo. What's up, bro? How you doing, brother? What's up? And I think my internet is lagging. David McDowell, sorry, bro. Hit the refresh, maybe. Maybe. And then you guys threw something in the broken plate. Well, that was is that the damn bud? Is that what you sent me? Yeah. Okay. If he in here talking smack again, we already kick him out? He might. Okay. He didn't get booted yet. Hold on, real quick. This is for my man real quick. Hold on. We're going to take a quick breather and we just going to laugh at this real fast. Hold on. Where we at? There we go. Damn, bud.
All of this was directly after the fight. This started trending.
Yeah. Wait, let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back. Damn, bud. Here we go. Hashtag damn, bud. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bud, make it look easy. Look, hold on. Where's it at? Oh, stanky leg.
Performance on his biggest stage. He has never performed better than this, as great as has been. So extraordinary, and that was what finally did it.
Lord Jesus. Oh Jesus.
He does it.
Lord Jesus. Oh, Spence fans quiet as hell. Damn, bud. Where is he? You look, even LeBron is like, ooh.
Do you understand? That's the perfect shirt right there.
Yeah, hold on. Here it is. Hey, he's trying to go to the airport. Wait, hold on.
Coming out here looking like the Elephant Man.
This is Spence right here, trying to sneak to his car, coming out the hospital, trying to get to the airport. Like, dude, I hope nobody sees me. I sure hope nobody sees me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I wasn't trying to talk smack, but you can't come in here. You can't, after a beating like that, you can't come in here.
All of us saw that fight live, man. I'm like, yeah, I was texting you. I was texting you in real life. I'm like, God.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick. Sorry, I had to do that. I had to do that. Anybody that's because I'm too X's and O's with boxing for anybody to come in here and talk smack to me. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know how the boxing business works. And so anybody coming here trying to talk smack to me, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I know too much about the business of boxing. So about us, this is Top Rank right here. Now, Bob Arum, right? And I'm glad you said what you said, Gerald, earlier, because I'm gonna tie this together for you. Lawsuit about discrimination. Let's see. Let me do it like this. Let's do it like this. Watch this. Innovation has been a standard at Top Rank Boxing since inception in 1966, when Jabir Herbert Muhammad, Bob Arum, and Muhammad Ali founded the organization. For 50 plus years, Top Rank Boxing has been boxing's leading promotional company. Did you hear what I said?
Yep.
Bob Arum and Muhammad Ali. Top Rank has shaped and developed, promoted the careers of the top international pay-per-view superstars and Hall of Famers, including Muhammad Ali, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, George Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, Aaron Pryor, Alexis Aguelo, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Miguel Cotto, Eric Morales, Terence Crawford, and Vasily Lomachenko. You know who else sued Top Rank? Floyd Mayweather. Known for the exact same reason. Known for creating strategic collaborations between athletes, sponsors, and television networks, Top Rank has been an architect of the boxing's global growth in staging high-profile events in landmark settings around the world. Top Rank has also been a leader within boxing industry in creating unforgettable in-arena experiences for the fans, embracing 21st century technology, advancements to distribute world-class fights and shoulder programming across a variety of platforms. Now, I'm going to do the boxing history tomorrow. We're going to talk about Jack Johnson tomorrow. And the media of Jack Johnson and what happened with him is once again, I'm gonna tie it all together for y'all. All I've been doing was tying all these pieces together so we can learn. But check this out right here. 9,000 fights, 1,500 cards, 22 countries. Check this out. 1966, Top Rank founded when Bob Arum began promoting who? Muhammad Ali. Delivered first live boxing broadcast on HBO in 1972. Developed first sports series for ESPN. Promoted George Foreman's historic win over Michael Moorer. But I wanted to focus right there. Top Rank founded when Bob Arum began promoting Muhammad Ali. Yeah, hold on. Let's go right back to this real quick. Damn, bud. Let's see, where are we at? Let's get another. Before we kick him out of here, let's watch one more clip real fast, and then we'll kick him out real fast. Hold on. Don't boot him. Did you? Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna laugh at your expense real quick before we kick you out of here, Cop Killer. Hold on. We're gonna laugh at your expense real fast. Hold on. He said, "Big fella abusive." Here, hold on.
Your motherfucking ass. What he hit me with? He got my head falling off the bone. Okay, let's regroup. I thought we came to box. I didn't come to leave in a box. Don't do that. Stop all that grabbing, big fella. Shit, ref, check his gloves for tequila. He got me punch drunk. Big fella, after this fight, you going to jail. I need to be factory reset and rebooted. He done knocked all the data out of me. God, help me now.
Meanwhile, this nigga putting his hands on me.
It's behind me. Why ain't nobody tell me I'm fighting Martin Lord? Big fella, ass presentation hours. Take your motherfucker.
Oh.
Head falling off the bone. Okay, let's regroup. I thought we came to box. I didn't come to leave in a box. Don't do that. Stop all that grabbing. Hey, let's gloves for tequila. He got me punch drunk. Big fella, after this fight, you going to jail for child abuse and neglect. I need to be factory reset and rebooted. God, help me, God.
Meanwhile, this nigga putting his hands on me.
It's behind me. Everybody tell me I'm fighting. Big fella, class.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I needed that. That was good. That was good. Salute to you for that, Gerald. Thank you. That was a great find. Salute to you for that. Yeah, Cop Killer, yeah, he can. Did we get him, hearing him yet? Okay, yeah, we could boot him. All right, cool. Yeah, you could get yourself another Google account, a Gmail account, and then you can come in and then just don't type and just watch. And
I don't know what fight he was saying, man. That boy needed like he said, a factory reset.
he said he knocked all the data out of me. He said, I didn't know I was fighting Mike Martin Lawrence. Hold on, where's it at? Hold on. Where's it at? Hold on. I'm gonna do this. There you go. There it is. So we're gonna continue this conversation like this, so he could, just in case this guy is still lingering, he can watch. So Bob Arum started Top Rank with Muhammad Ali, for God's sakes, and had been sued by Mayweather and Terence Crawford for pretty much exactly the same thing. Which is part of the reason why Premier Boxing came about, and this is Al Heyman. Now look, has the business plan been perfect for everybody? I think it's an imperfect business, but Al Heyman at least presented a place where black fighters could, at least at one point, they were prioritized as far as business was concerned. And so when you think about whether or not PBC would actually go across the aisle and deal with the Top Rank and a Bob Arum, it kind of makes sense as to why they wouldn't, right? So now it's like, okay, I kind of understand why they wouldn't do it. Not obviously, one, because Terence Crawford is a ninja and he would have beat the hell out of all of them and took all the belts, and PBC would have never seen the belts again. So in that respect, I kind of understand. But again, I think that a lot of people were putting it on Bud, like Terence Crawford was the guy that was somehow destroying the chances of fighting, and people don't really understand the politics of it all. You know what I mean? Like, the politics have trumped all of it. The information was there, but people don't look to be like, well, why didn't they make the fight for this long? And like, why don't I know about Terence Crawford when he's such a dominant fighter? Like, how is it that I didn't know about this guy? Because he was on the other side. And Top Rank, being the type of promoter that he is, if he's not a light-skinned black man, sorry, Gerald, or if he's not Lomachenko, or if he's not, who else do they promote? Let's look. Hold on. Let's look. That's hilarious. That right there makes me laugh. That was a great find. We're gonna watch that again at some point. Where is it? Is it right? PBC. Oh, it's right here. Okay, here, hold on. Man, that's hilarious. Top Rank. Let's go to the fighters. Now, Tyson Fury. They're trying to put Naoya Inoue. They keep trying to put him on the pound for pound. Teofimo Lopez, controversy with him. Tyson Fury cheated against Deontay Wilder, got his belts basically, and scurried off to out of the country where because he can't even. Tyson Fury's got a warrant out. He can't even go to England. He's been tied to. He's got mob ties. Yeah, me too. I can't even talk about it. Artur Beterbiev, Jason Maloney. Are you noticing a pattern here?
Yep.
Right? Are we noticing a pattern here?
Where are the brothers?
Are we noticing a pattern here? Yeah. And he was the only black guy with the belt in their stable. So then you go over to, where is that other window? PBC. And then we're going to see right here. What do we got? We've got a Russian, but then we got black guy, Russian, black guy, black guy, black guy. Canelo just jumped. Another Hispanic, Boo Boo Andrade, salute to him, black guy. So all the black folks is over here. At least all the black folks with titles. Errol Spence was over here. Both the Charlo brothers are over here. Fulton that just fought Inoue, which Inoue's in was over here. So you see the politics. Like you see the go ahead, Jordan.
Me being a casual boxing fan, like the titles were just getting to me, and that's the reason why I jumped. But I didn't realize behind the scenes the cluster. It was a complete cluster, clusterfuck. And I'm like, now what you explained to me, you know, breaking it down to me, I'm like, where's the regulation? I'm not for all kinds of regulation in sports, but where is it at? Where's the red tape?
I'm so glad you said that. Check this out. It is not uncommon for you to go into a restaurant in Las Vegas the night before a fight and see a table that has the promoters, the judges, and the referees all sitting at the same table. It is not uncommon. It is not uncommon. And the state sanctioning bodies. Do you ever see the fights and see the guys with the red jackets in the ring? Those are the sanctioning bodies. So they're there to watch to make sure there's no cheating or there's no this, that, or the other thing. So they're in the ring, like touching the fighters and like moving people around, lingering over the whole thing. They're every single part of the whole thing. They're with the Nevada state, whatever, or if they fight in whatever state X, Y, or Z. That's why they fight in New Jersey, because the rules are lax. That's why they fight in Nevada. That's why they're lax. That's when they go and fight in Dubai. The regulations are not as stringent there. That's why they go there. You see?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
That's why fighting is the way that it is. When someone gets avoided for 5 years, these are the things that are going on in the background, why the fights don't get made, why there's a narrative that Terence Crawford's isn't as good as so-and-so. And you know what, real quick, but go ahead. I think you were gonna say something.
I gotta call up Ice Cube and tell him we need to make a boxing, a whole boxing.
I think you're right. Let's see. Let's go Box Rec. Okay, so Box Rec, Terence Crawford, real quick. So Box Rec is the a website that has all of the boxing attributes and things on it. Okay. I want you guys to just see this real quick because we're on some crazy stuff right here. Check this out. Division welter, 5 stars. Obviously, he's the best in the world right now. Number 1 international, number 1 ranked in the world. 40 bouts, 233 rounds. 77% of his fights he knocks people out. 2008 through 2023. Debut 2008. He is an IBF World Welterweight title, WBA Super World Welter, WBC World Welter, and WBO Welter. Now check this out. Remember when we were talking about the different belts? WBA Super World Welter, they made up a super belt because they wanted to take one away from another guy, and one guy didn't want to fight another guy, so they made up a belt and made him like the super champion.
There's no way in hell I can be a professional boxer, man. I lose my patience.
Bro, this shit sounds like WWF, like toward the end of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after they merged with the
100%.
WCW. The hardcore title, WCW, Intercontinental, WWE, Intercontinental.
Yes. But the only reason why they make them up.
Championship, like, fuck this.
The only reason why they make them up, though, is so that they're able to kind of manipulate the pieces so they don't get someone, so they, like, for example, Canelo didn't want to fight Triple G again. So basically, they gave him Lomachenko was trying to avoid fighting Devin Haney. They basically gave him they made up a title. I forget what they called it. They made up a title and gave it to Lomachenko so that he didn't have to fight the next guy, so he can avoid fight.
They just make up titles like they got like they food stamps or ration cards, like
yes.
that. As a thin air.
Yes.
it crossed my mind. Like, if we don't mind this sounds like this would be like a perfect microcosm of our government.
Yes.
I don't understand how any of these boxing analysts, if they truly knew boxing, how could they not be livid about any of this?
Because they work within the system that they can't change. They all get paid from it. They all get paid from it. Think about it. So okay, let's go a little deeper now. You want to go a little deeper? Just a little bit deeper. Right?
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
So if you're watching Showtime and PBC and they're referencing a fighter like a Terence Bud Crawford from the other side, the TV analyst, does it make sense for the TV analyst to give Bud Crawford all of his credit and tell everybody how good he really is if they don't want to make that fight? They're going to diminish his reputation. People aren't like me that are going to go watch Bud Crawford's fights and watch him in slow motion to see how brilliant the guy is. They're just going to listen to what people say and they're going to regurgitate it. Oh, Bud Crawford's too small. His competition's not very good. He's light in the butt. He loads his gloves with, like, dumb stuff like that. All these excuses. Look, I wanted to just go over Bud Crawford's resume real quick. Everybody said that his resume was so weak. Obviously, he beat the doggy doo-doo out of Errol Spence. David Avanesian, I think basically what was happening was Terence Crawford was trying to negotiate the deal with Errol Spence. They were dragging their feet, and I think that Terence Crawford's lawsuit wasn't completely done. And basically, Terence Crawford essentially said, I don't need you. And he went and set up the David Avanesian fight because he was like, look, I can keep fighting. I don't need to just wait on you. And so he basically just picked up a fight anyways because he just wanted to fight. So he fought this guy just because. It was more of anything. It was like, one, to stay active, two, to be like, look, I can keep fighting without you, Errol. So you can stay and pretend like you want to fight and like push this thing further if you want to, but I want to fight, so I'm going to fight this guy. He beat up Sean Porter. Sean Porter went 12 rounds with Errol Spence, didn't get him up out of there. Terence got Sean Porter out in 10. I think it'll show this. Porter down twice in the 10th round. Porter announced his retirement after the bout. Now check this out. David Avanesian at one point was a WBO world welterweight champion at one point. Okay. Let's make sure we put this all in perspective. WBO welterweight, Sean Porter was also a belt. This is who Spence took the belt from. Okay. So Sean Porter, Errol Spence took the belt from Sean Porter. Kell Brook, Errol Spence beat Kell Brook. They went 12 rounds, or no, I think they did stop the fight eventually because he was all busted up. Or they went 12 rounds. But with Bud, he got him out of there in, I think, 7. Referee, Oh no, okay, maybe Kell Brook. No, Kell Brook got knocked out in like the 4th round. He was at one point WBO welterweight champion. Okay, so everyone's talking about how Bud's beating bums and his resume is not very good. Okay, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. His last 21 fights were championship fights against people that had belts or titles. So what? All of those guys are bums. All of those guys are bums.
You can't get no more victorious than that, man.
Supreme victory.
All of those guys are bums. You see how crazy it sounds? Like, do you see how stupid it sounds? It doesn't even make any sense. So all of these guys are bums. Hold on. 31-3, 39-2, 29. Kavalauskas was 21-0 and 21-0-1. Amir Khan at the time, 33-4 when he beat him. Jose Benavidez was 27-0. Jeff Horn was 18-0. Ndongo was 22-0. Felix Diaz was 19-1. John Molina Jr., he had a couple L's, 26 and 29-6. Victor Postol, 28-0. He was Victor Postol. Victor Postol's fighting right now still. He was Victor Postol's first loss or loss. Yeah. Hank Lundy was a dog. Deary John, 29-1. Delorme, fighting now still, 22-1. Gamboa, he fought Gamboa when Gamboa was young still. He gave Gamboa his first loss. Like Ricky Burns, he went and fought Ricky Burns. Where did he go? He went to Glasgow. He was a Scottish, he went to England for this. Ricky Burns. You see how crazy these people that are saying that Bud Crawford is not a good fighter and hasn't had good competition? Do you see how nonsensical it is?
Majority of his matchups are undefeated fighters.
Yeah.
First loss.
The last 20 bouts were championship bouts, including the one that just happened. The last 20 fights, there was a belt or championship up for grabs at 3 different weight classes. What are we talking about? Hold on. You know what's crazy? I want y'all to see something, man. Because we talk about big moments and pressure moments. I want you guys to see the opening of this fight, because I think, let's see, I wonder if okay, yeah. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want you guys to see the type of environment that he was in. And I know let me do this. Let me just try to do all the fair use crap I can. And we're going to only do this by a couple seconds at a time, but watch this.
And here we go. Ladies
This guy's a bum, okay?
and gentlemen, Eddie Hearn
Look at this place.
proudly presents Man of...
All right, you want to play some Carmen Sandiego? Spot the black person. There ain't any. There isn't any.
Steel. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO lightweight.
Look.
All you missing are hoodies across and some light shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, when I see that much.
Of the world, sponsored by 888 Sport, Terence Advanced Construction, M8.
And look what he got in there. Nebraska and an American flag.
Recovery and the Scottish Sun. The supervisor joined.
Look. Tell me that's not behind enemy lines.
Okay, one brother in the lower right.
You found one?
Maybe. Right there.
Right there? Oh,
Right
he ain't
there.
black. This guy right here?
He might be one of those guys who walks around and makes sure everybody, because he's not looking at the Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that's a brother, dog.
I don't think it is. Yeah.
Nice. I mean,
super featherweight champion from
He tan though. He ain't a brother though. Yeah.
Kovac. Our steward in charge from the British Boxing Board of Control is Mr. Bernard Connolly.
she's a baddie though.
Timekeeper at the bell
How
is
you
Mr.
doing?
Jim Tucker.
You know what I'm saying?
And the three men in charge of scoring this World Championship contest. Our judges on the film from Mexico, the Luis.
I want y'all to hear because again, sure, maybe this guy could he come to the United States and fight? Maybe, but he's got a couple belts and
This is the moment you've all been waiting for, so here we go. The challenger fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the red, white, and blue trunks and weighed in at 9 stone, 8 pounds, 6 ounces.
22 fights, 22 wins, no losses, 16 knockouts.
He's undefeated. 22 contests, 22 wins, 16 inside the scheduled distance. He comes to the ring as the undefeated NABO
A lot of
lightweight
booze.
champion.
Yeah.
Right?
Omaha, Nebraska, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Terence Crawford.
Right? Right?
And now,
Now and listen, no, you know, I want y'all to hear this.
a hero to a nation, a legend to a country, and now, here is the champion. Fighting out
Can you imagine being the only black man in a room like this?
of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks trimmed with white and gold. Weighed at 9 stone, 8 pounds, 4 ounces, 39 fight record, 36 wins, 11 inside the scheduled distance, just 2 defeats and 1 draw. He comes to the ring as the former undefeated WBO super featherweight champion of the world. He is now the reigning and defending WBO lightweight champion of the world.
They made a good show, but maybe that guy's a bum. Maybe he's a bum. You know, talent, no good. Maybe he's not very good.
Third star, Ricky Ware.
Guys, you know how long ago this was? This was 20 fights ago.
Yeah.
He's had nothing but championship fights ever since. His fight before this was a championship fight. But see, he had to fight guys over there that were allegedly less talented or whatever. So
No, when you talk about the mentality, mama, you talk about what Kobe was talking about, mama mentality, always having that pressure on.
Mm-hmm.
Like this man is better. He got better over time.
Thank you. Julius Ndongo, 22-0. Felix Diaz, let's see, hold on. So that was in 2014. He won his first belt here at Breedis Prescott. It was a last minute switch in. He was supposed to be fighting on the undercard for a belt, and this is when he or actually I don't know, did he win his first belt? I don't end up beating this dude up. This is the first. Oh wait, when was the first one? Because he won this one here too. Alejandro Sambria. This was for a vacant belt. Basically, somebody moved up or didn't make weight or something, and he had to fight this other guy to win this belt. I think this was his first belt. Yeah, the WBO NBO lightweight at 130 pounds, I think. And this guy was 34 1-1. Right? So like, you know, we keep like having these conversations about what this guy is or what he isn't, when all these people don't even understand the business of boxing. They don't even understand like what he is.
I mean, even if you're not, I mean, it's just like the basics of just calling this guy a bum. I'm like, guys, look, all you gotta do is look at his resume. I mean, literally, that's all you got to do. I mean, I'm a casual boxing fan. I know this man is dangerous. How the hell do you guys not know? Unless you're being paid not to know.
There it is. Say that again. There it is. So yeah, I wanted to at least just touch on that part, because I think so many people don't understand that the politics and the business behind why it took Terence Crawford so long to actually get this opportunity to show everybody how good he really was. And a lot of it was, I wouldn't say completely out of his hands, but there's a lot of moving parts that people don't even understand why. You know what I'm saying? So there was a
I'm a gamble with